In this demo, we are going to demonstrate the following. At the time of downloading a document or an attachment from SAP, the file will be protected based on the policy. And also based on the policy, there will be different permissions or rights that will be assigned to different users based on their attributes. To demonstrate this, we will be downloading a file from SAP. Then we will check that the file is protected with different rights for different users. So, we will use 3 different users: BOM Engineer 1, BOM Engineer 4, and BOM Project 1. BOM Engineer 1 will be downloading the file with protection, so we will see that he has all permissions on the document. Engineer 4 will not have any permissions on the document, and BOM Project 1 can view the document, print the document, but he is not allowed to edit the document. So let's go ahead and look at this in the system. So here I am logged in as BOM Engineer 1 in the SAP system. We're going to go ahead and run the transaction CS03, which is a display of a BOM. This is a material BOM that we have created, and on the material BOM, on the header data, we have different DARs that are connected to it. We're going to pick a specific DAR here. This particular DAR has attachments connected to it as part of the linked objects. As you can see, there are 2 attachments connected here. One is a cylinder VDS file, which is a 3D visual drawing file, and the other is an SAP Pocket Knife VDS file. So as Engineer 1, let's try to view the file and download it. When we go ahead and try to double-click to view the file temporarily gets downloaded to a system, and then it opens up in the Visual Enterprise Viewer. So as you can see here, we are able to view this file. Now let's try to download this document and see whether the file gets protected or not. So to download the file, we will use the option of Copy To, and I'm going to go ahead and download this to a folder called Demo on my desktop, on my system. So now the file has been downloaded, and I'm going to go ahead and find the file in the desktop demo folder. And as you can see, it got created here. It has an NXL extension on the file now, which means that this particular attachment is protected, and the NXL is the extension that NextLabs has assigned to it in order to protect it. We also have a SkyDRM component, which is part of the product, and that particular component manages the different users. So next I'm going to log in as BOM Engineer 1. Here I am now logged in as BOM Engineer 1. If I try to open this particular protected file, the document opens in the 3D Visual Enterprise Viewer. It's a visual diagram, so I can rotate it and I can also try and edit it. You can also see that there is a watermark that gets generated on the document with the user ID and also the date and the timestamp. So basically with the watermark, even if some fraudulent user tries to take a picture of the file, you will still be able to trace it back and see who tried to take the photo and who tried to leak the data. So in that way, the watermark is quite useful. We can also see what their permissions are for this particular user on this file. So we can go back to the file and check out the file info. The file info will essentially show us lists of different permissions that Engineer 1 has on this particular document. Here you can see that he has a permission to view, edit, print, save as, and watermark. So for the same document, let's check what the permissions are for a different user. Let's check, say, Engineer 4. They do not have the same permissions per the policy. So let me log in as Engineer 4 and try to open this same document. I am now logged in as BOM Engineer 4. Let's try to view the same document. As you can see, it says access denied, since he does not have permission to open the file. And that is coming based off the policy at the time the document is being protected. When you're downloading the document from SAP, the DRM policy that we have written is applied on the document. That's why BOM Engineer 4 is not able to view this particular document because he does not have access to it. Let's try to check with a different user, which is BOM Project 1. He should be able to view the document, but he should not be able to edit the document. So let me log in as BOM Project 1. So here I am now logged in as BOM Project 1. And let's try to look at the same document again. Before I open up the document, I'm just going to go ahead and look at the file info to see the permissions this file has for this particular user. As you can see, he has permission to view, print, and save as. So he does not have permission to edit, and he does not have a watermark. Whereas Engineer 1, who is the creator of this document, has all the permissions on it. He has the view, print, edit, save as, and also the watermark. So let's try to open this document as BOM Project 1. So we are able to see the document, and there is no watermark shown here. And that just goes to demonstrate that these functionalities are completely controlled with the policy, and for this user we did not include the watermark to demonstrate that. So similarly, let's try to edit this document and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and try to change the color, and then I'll attempt to save as. As you can see, I got a pop-up over here that says you do not have permission to perform this particular action. So if I open up this message, I can see here it also reads, you do not have permission to perform the save as operation. So all the changes that we're making, we will not be able to save them as BOM Project 1 user. Even if I try to go and save it again, I'll get another pop-up message here. So in this way, we have demonstrated that at the time of downloading a document from SAP, the document will be protected based on the policies we've written. And also on the protected document, different users will have different permissions for the document. Even if we were to send this particular protected document via email to a different user outside of our organization, for example, since that user will not have any permissions granted by the policy, he will not be able to see any of those documents. This is now the end of our demo. Thank you very much for watching.